Okay, all we've done here is we've taken the fresh Roma tomatoes from the garden and we've split them straight down the top. We've cut out the small little green core where the stem is. We split them a little further, almost to quarters, but still holding together. You see it's still, on the other side, still holding together. And we lightly salted those with sea salt. And then we put them on the trays of dehydrator. So those guys are going to stay in there now. The dehydrator at 120 degrees, 115 to 120 degrees for several hours. Here I'm going to show how we check a temperature of our dehydrator. We just have a little infrared thermal scanner. I'm going to turn that thing on. We're going to shoot the very back part of the thing, and we're going to read the temperature. See, right now it's reading a little warmer than we want it, especially toward the back. So it's reading 110 up on here on the tomatoes, but the floor reading about 150. So we're going to kick this down a little bit. We don't want to cook these guys, we just want to dry them. That's how we ensure it, because there's no real setting on that dial. 156 degrees, so we need to dial that back a little bit. So we'll do that, and then we'll check back on these guys in 5 or 6 hours. Well, today we have the famous Backwoods smoker going, and this is step 2 of making the smoked tomatoes. So we're going to open it up and let you see what's going on here. You see we got a lot of smoke going on. The new diffuser is really working as we designed it. And up here I'll pull these trays out for you. These are the Romas that have been on the dehydrator for quite a while, and now we're just getting them a little smoke on them, which is going to make a sun-dried tomato even more awesome. Okay, these guys have been in the dehydrator here, our big stainless steel dehydrator, for about 40 hours combined. 40 hours combined with the smoke and a couple hours. And to test to see if they're ready, they shouldn't be squishy. Should be firm, not mushy, but not crispy either. So they feel dry to the touch, but they're still pliable, but they're not mushy. So that means most of the water is out of them. So those guys will be ready to pack, and I'll show you that next. Alright, so we basically started with 9 pounds of fresh Roma tomatoes from the garden. After those are smoked and dried, we ended up with 2 half-pint jars, and I'm using regular, just sterilized Mason half-pint jelly jars. You're going to pack those things in there as tightly as you can get them, and you'll see they'll spring back. You push them down, they'll spring back up. You want them tight, so you don't want a lot of air space in there. So, next thing is real easy. We're just going to take a good extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to take them jokers and very slowly, so they don't run out all over the place, very slowly fill up the jar. And another reason for this slow is to let the air bubbles naturally rise to the top. You want it to fill in all the spaces, and you want to stop before you get to the top, because you're going to need to squish those guys back down again, because they've kind of rebounded here. So go ahead and we'll fill this one up. You want to do it slow so it fills up all the gaps in between the tomatoes. Now I really pack those in there. You can imagine if you've taken 9 pounds of fresh tomatoes and you've condensed them down into basically 1 pint of tomatoes, how much flavor in these things. And that little bit of smoke we put on them yesterday is going to really bring out the sweetness of these. You can do them without the smoke, but you know, here at the Backwoods Gourmet we smoke everything, and to me it really adds so much of another layer of flavor. So all we're going to do with these now is push them back down. We're going to put on 2 brand new caps and rings. Since these are not canned, make sure you use brand new lids. Don't try to reuse some from somewhere else. Use brand new ones so the seals are fresh and they're obviously clean. Because they're not going to be canned. It's the olive oil and preserve these for a long time. I'll show you how they look when we get them jarred up. Okay, there's 2 pints of smoked Roma tomatoes here from the Backwoods Gourmet Kitchen. Another thing I forgot to mention in the last little clip there was make sure that there's absolutely no headspace in these jars. You want to make sure when you push that lid down on there before you put your ring on that there's no airspace between the lid and the olive oil. That could possibly cause them to have a little mold issue. So we make sure that there's no mold, no place for mold to go. So no headspace. Put these up in the house, in a cool place, and they'll be good for months and months and months. They are better after they've had about 2 weeks to soak in this nice olive oil inside the jars. That will allow the tomato to kind of rehydrate with the olive oil, and it makes it more tender and flavorful. Believe me, these are awesome for pesto.